This is how it has to be for people to be successful. It's not about boxing and using your skills and win the fight. It's about politics and who you know. It should be.
Here we go again. Same shit, y'all. Same shit. We getting the same shit, y'all. Same old thing, man. We can't get the fights that we want. We can't get the undisputed that we want. You know what I mean? Bivol talking about legacy and how he want to do his thing, but uh then kind of backing off, saying that the offer wasn't right. But you know what? I don't think the offer included the WBC championship, which would mean that it's not for undisputed. It's not for undisputed. And also, of recent, Mauricio said he can't fight for undisputed at 168 either. He's not sanctioning this dude because he's Russian. Um, I've heard of some bullshit. I mean, I guess he's standing on some sort of moral value coming from a guy like that. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I think it has a lot to do with sanctioning fees. I feel like the fight ain't big enough. Uh, for the casual fans, and I feel like he don't want this man Bivol to take undisputed at 168 because his sanctioning fees will drop. I would rather have 10% or 15% of $20 million than 1.5 or 500 500,000. You know what I'm saying? So I see what this is. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I don't think that Canelo is avoiding Dmitry Bivol. I think he wants that fight. I think Bivol wants Better Biev, and I think Better Biev wants Bivol. I feel like the politics that are involved is telling you everything you need to know. But I'm still not a fan of the way the Bivol's moving in this moment because he said his team said that the offer wasn't good. But to be fair, I gotta say, if it's not including the WBC, then it's not for undisputed. So for everybody out there saying that the dude's ducking undisputed, well, you might as well add Suleiman to that because he don't want undisputed. He don't want undisputed. But I guess Beterbiev isn't Russian enough to block any of his fights or however that goes. One way or the other, this is a sport, and I didn't know that it got this political because I remember years and years ago, Joe Louis and Smelling fought right before the World War II, and everybody was hyped about that. Uh, I just don't get it. These guys, we like to cling to them and look at them as representatives, but isn't this the same guy in Mauricio Suleiman who said she didn't kill anybody? Well, who did Demetrius kill? Or you just don't want him to kill that undisputed at 168 because them sanctioning fees gonna drop? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm certainly not a fan of the Munguia fight. I certainly don't want to watch no Munguia and Bivol fight. I know how that's gonna turn out. That's gonna be a whitewash. And it's gonna be De La Hoya throwing his homeboy, another one of his homeboys in the Lions Den to get washed up again. You know what I mean? And I mean to sit there and avoid big fights or have Munguia not be in any big fights and then throw him in there with a 175 pounder means for as much as you've been protecting this guy, you don't give too much about. I mean, you don't care too much about the motherfucker. Just the way I'm looking at it, you know. This is funky to me because I feel like all the fighters want to fight, you know, and for the heat that Bivol was getting in this situation, I'm looking at it like, well, then 9 months ago wasn't better BF turning down undisputed when his team said no, we have to do this, and the WBC said no, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna go this way, and we're gonna go that way. Was he ducking? I don't think he was ducking. I think he wants to fight. I think Bivol wants to fight. I think he's kind of being forced. his hand is being forced in this, where he's going to have to fight at 175. Because he said, if I'm not going to get Undisputed at 175, then I'll take Undisputed at 168. And it was a shock to everybody, and nobody wanted to hear it. And then when he attempted to do it, now that's blocked. Just to let him know, shut up. You ain't really you really a nobody. And ain't nobody, you're not selling fights out here like that, and we don't really care about Undisputed nor Legacy. All right. I think Canelo wants it, but I think the powers that be, I don't think Canelo would have an issue with it at 168 or 175. I was actually giving him props for saying I wanted at 175, but after thinking about it, I'm going, well, if he wants it at 168, why is it being blocked? Because Canelo coming off of 2 losses, if he loses that 168 battle, coming off 2 losses and no titles, them sanctioning fees might drop. His bargaining chip might get smaller. Still a great fighter, but his bargaining chip might get a little smaller. And I think Suleiman knows this. I think it's a business investment. So not only do they have teams out here meat shielding for fighters, they got sanctioning bodies. Sanctioning bodies out here meat shielding too. For their own benefit. So this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm looking at. I'm pissed about the boxing fans, because you know why? Us hardcore boxing fans, you have a lot of Better BF fans out there. You got a lot of Bivol fans. You got a lot of Canelo fans out there. And you know what we getting? You know what boxing doing to us as boxing fans? Punching us dead in the face. Boom. Take that, boxing fan. Eat that shit. And you see these guys reaching for content out here because they ain't really got none. And they knees buckling. They knees buckling right now because they're trying to hold on to anything that they can. And I'm starting to wave the way that I feel about boxing as of now, because I'm like, yo, if the belts, because the belts I always felt meant a lot because it put a standard on boxing, Undisputed. But then you got 2 up and coming fighters. I want to call them up and coming, in Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, because I don't feel like they've been truly tested or tested enough. That ain't fighting for a belt and making big money and not allowing the sanctioning bodies to basically control them with shit like this. So I'm starting to understand a bit how that works, but I do feel that there should be a standard. And I feel that there should be a standard on sanctioning bodies. And I feel like you can apply this standard to the sanctioning bodies by capping their sanctioning fees. Then they would probably abide by the rules. Because if they're getting a percentage of 20 million, why would they pass that up for 700,000? I'd rather have 10% of 20 million than 10% of 200,000, 700,000, 1.5 million. So they should put a cap on it. They should put a cap on the sanctioning fees. I mean, just because Suleiman throwing these WBC hats around, anklets and all that shit, don't make it all right. Because Undisputed is huge. Very huge. Very huge. You know, we got Lomachenko and Devin Haney finally gonna be cleared up. The man that beats the man. The man that beat the man that beat the man. Right? Everybody email belt champion, and then the criticism that Loma was getting by having the franchise championship, this gonna clear all that up, man. Devin Haney cleared it up, but now it's just gonna be like the clear up for the hardcores. Okay, so who the man in this? So we got that going on, and that's getting very little push as to the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis fight, and they're fighting for nothing, just money, just an event, what have you. Great fighters. I like them both. I think that they're both exciting fighters. I think that they both have a good following, and I get it. That's what it is. But we're kind of missing stuff. And with the sanctioning bodies out here and the promotional teams, they're not helping us get these undisputed fights that we want. Got got boxing buckling their knees, man. Buckling their knees, you know? So I don't know what to believe half the time. But like I said, I'm not a fan of the fact that Bibble said that he's not a he the offer was bad. But once again, to be fair, it wasn't including the WBC title. So can he just petition for it? But Suleiman is pretty adamant about not giving this dude any shot at undisputed at 175 or 168. And I want to know how y'all feel about that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get to the comments and see what's popping. We got Boxing Lounge in the building. We got Lisa Bells in the building. What's going on? We got LaRon in the chat. You know, we got the whole team, the TAC family up in here, man. I'm happy to see y'all. But I'm disappointed for y'all. I'm disappointed for y'all. Like I'm disappointed for me as a boxing fan that we can't get these big, huge fights that we want. And it's gotten to the point where it's just BS, man. I'm gonna drop the link. Y'all more than welcome to state your opinions or come out here. Y'all can stay in the chat wherever y'all comfortable. But I mean, to be honest, it's not a good look for boxing, man. It's not a good look for boxing. And for some reason, this dude just keep sliding in and crashing the party every time. Every time. Every time. We always could count on Suleiman to come in and put his nose in some shit and fuck some shit up. Because you can't have Undisputed without the WBC. Isn't this the same dude that brought up all the Haney and Lomachenko shit and the Tio shit? You got fighters out there reaching for greatness and they're getting heat from man fans and all people alike because of this guy. They're the ones in there getting punched in the face. This dude just taking a piece of their check, put a hat on him. Don't forget to put this t-shirt on, wrap this belt around your fucking shoulder, and let's just fuck it up. You know? I don't know. I don't know, man. I think like he defending his investment and he trying to keep Canelo as a cash cow because it benefits him. I don't think Canelo cares. I think Canelo has done enough in the sport where he's like, yo, man, I think I could beat this guy. I could fight this guy. I'm the biggest name in boxing right now. Make the fight happen. I don't think he gives a shit. You know? I don't think he gives a shit. I don't think Bivol gives a shit. I don't think Beterbiev gives a shit about a fighter. I don't think none of these guys are concerned about fighting each other. I think it's, come on, the offer. Come on, man. We know what Bob does. He tried to probably offer Bivol a shiny nickel. Look at that. Look at that shiny nickel. Look at that. Look at it. It's brand new. You know what I'm saying? But he said it wasn't about money. And if you become undisputed after Canelo win and then beat Beterbiev, that will make your status jump up. You are going to be able to bargain at the table. That Canelo fight, if you was to take the 175 fight, um, prior and go, and if you pull that off and become undisputed, how you going to look at the bargaining table then? It's going to look a lot more lucrative for you in that moment. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's not going to be for undisputed because of this guy. And that to me is bothersome. It's extremely bothersome. It's just a little funky. But we do have a fight coming on this weekend. We will see the up and coming rising stars in Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. I'm not gonna sit here and call these guys the face of boxing because they're not. They haven't done enough in the game for me to call them faces of boxing. Is it is it a good fight? Yeah. Is it a good challenge? Yeah. Is it a bit exciting? Yeah. Is Tank gonna spank that ass? Probably yeah. You know what I mean? Is Ryan gonna put up a good fight? Probably yeah. But then again, Tank been on the shelf for a minute. Tank ain't really been testing himself. You know, legacy doesn't always pay the bills. This is a fact. This is a fact. It don't always pay the bills, boxing lounge. You know what I mean? They not it, and I get that. But it can pay the bills if the sanctioning bodies and the promoters are pushing it as well. You know, if they're glorifying the same thing, if they're pushing the same thing, if they pushing legacy, it's a good chance. If you're hearing it from the fighters, you're hearing it from the sanctioning bodies, you're hearing it from promotion, you're hearing it from advisors, then hey man, if it quacks like a duck, you know what I mean? Then it is what it is. Let it happen. Let it be. You know, everyone got to get on the same train though. That's the problem. That's where it all comes down to the bullshit. Everybody looking out for themselves, everybody trying to do what they can, and then that's what you're dealing with. But I think that really hinders the sport. Is the sport getting eyes? Yeah, it's getting eyes, but what kind of eyes is it getting? I guess it doesn't matter as long as they paying. Is it gonna hurt the sport in the end? Yeah, absolutely. Who wants to see two teams play, two two teams get into the fucking playoffs, or one team that just is preseason promotions their entire career and never goes to the playoffs or refuses to play someone in the Super Bowl or in the championship? It makes zero sense. Sport is based on standard. Who is the best? Who's the best team? Who's the best fighter? Who's the best golfer? Who's the best whatever? You know what I'm saying? And then you judge that by standards. So if these guys ain't allowed to get into the ring with one another, then you never know who the best is and they continue to milk the system. It's as simple as that. It's clear as day. You got fighters that are down with it, you got promoters that are down with it, you got sanctioning bodies that are down with it, and advisors that are down with it. That's the problem with boxing. That's what I've been preaching for the last 4 or 5 years on YouTube, you know? So I'm trying to bump up these guys and get these guys the hype that they want. But I mean that they deserve, but they're not gonna get it. Better be if ain't getting the promo that he deserves. And he gets nothing but knockouts. He's a 3 belt unified champion. Bivol just beat Canelo. Canelo was reaching for greatness, and when Bivol beat him, he was too big. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney got undisputed. Nothing. You know what I mean? Lomachenko been out here working his way back to getting undisputed or getting close to undisputed. No, nothing. You don't see the hype. You don't see these guys doing the right thing. Then you see Tio, and for some reason, he's all over the place. Tank's all over the place. Ryan's all over the place. You see them wherever you look, and it's just like, wow. Wow. What are they doing it for? Maybe there should be a minimum payday for undisputed. Yeah. Even fighters that don't draw crowds like the big names, but the pots of the money would need to be distributed differently. Yes, maybe. Maybe. Or maybe there should be a cap on these damn sanctioning fees. Because once again, you're going to want 10 to 15% of 20 million or 40 million quicker than you're going to want that percentage of 500,000. It makes perfect sense and dollars. So, but you're not getting the biggest fights. You're not seeing these guys test themselves. It's no longer a sport. It's a fucking fashion show. It's turning into a fashion show. You know, that's the problem. And the fans don't seem to mind. Get them in there. They don't mind that. Then you hear Vada and Nada shit. You know, well, they're all on steroids, so it doesn't matter. They all on steroids. What type of ripple effect does that have on the sport? The ripple effect of a motherfucker cheating. And back to Suleiman. He didn't have a mind. He didn't have a hard time sanctioning the fights when somebody got caught on some shit. He didn't have a problem with it. She didn't kill anybody. Well, who did Demetrius Bivol kill? I'm sorry. How is one guy Russian and one guy is not? Here Beterbiev is fighting for his title, and I got nothing against Beterbiev. I got nothing against Bivol. I got nothing against Canelo in this. I got nothing against the fighters, man. I'm pointing out the fucking issue. The issue is the meat shields in the comments, the meat shields with channels, the meat shields in sanctioning bodies, and the meat shields in advising. Did you hear Ellaby? Oh my God, did you hear how that dude was talking? It's cool. We got someone in the camp. We know what he's going to do. We know what this do. I'm like, yo, since when has it been cool to cheat? For real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when is it? Well, Brady did it. You know what I mean? Deflated ball promotions. What the fuck is going on here, man? Like it's not a fair sport. Don't you want the guy to be 100%? That you're fighting to prove that you can whitewash this dude? The dude's got nothing. And then it makes Tank look bad, and Tank ain't a bad fighter. He just not competing on the highest level. And that goes for Ryan as well. But here they are. They about to fight at a fight for no title. And it's the hottest thing since sliced bread, I guess. And, I'm slightly interested. It's quite the event. I'm a boxing fan. But, man, what's going on, y'all? Yeah, there needs to be a financial incentive for Undisputed. I totally agree, Boxing Lounge. There should be. There should be something to make these big fights happen for the hardcore fans that kind of keep boxing alive. We need that, man. Give it to us once in a while. Give us something to, to keep us in the circle. You know what I mean? To promote boxing, to push boxing, to push the sport that I love and you guys all love. When you see shit like this, it's disheartening for a sport that you love that you just see come crashing down for apparently no reason other than politics. It's a sport. What does politics got to do with a sport? See that shit all the time now. Well, this person did this person did that. You know what I mean? You got dudes knocking women out in MMA cages, and that's all good. Like, what? Competing in the Olympics and just what? It's like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Is there not no standards anymore? We got zero standards for anything. Doing steroids, that's okay. Everybody's doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, man. These dudes should be competing on the highest level for the highest paydays. To me, I feel like them standards should be upkept to keep because then when a casual walks in, they know what they're watching. It's simple and plain. It's clear as day. You walk in, oh, she's the champ. Okay, cool. I'm watching the champ fight. Oh, he's the champ? Yeah, but he's the regular champ. Well, he's the franchise champion, but he's the regular champion. So technically, neither one of these dudes really have to fight anybody. How can you be a champion and not have to defend your title? Then how can you call yourself a champion? I thought that's what the champion did. A champion was the king of the hill and defended his title. I feel like I'm just rinsing, repeating over and over again the exact same shit. We can't get Undisputed at 175, and every hardcore fan on this globe wants to see that. Every hardcore fan wants to see that Beterbiev Bivol fight. They want to see that 175 cleared up. Everybody wants to see the heavyweight champion, undisputed champion. For some reason, we can't get that. Because one guy says, no, nah, I'm not involved in that. You know what I mean? Sadly, hardcore fans are greatly outnumbered by the casuals. That is a fact. And I understand that. But it doesn't make it okay. Fuck that shit. Hell no, man. You don't dedicate little parts of your life, you know what I mean, to some shit, and then just be like, nah, it's not like that no more. I mean, change is change, but damn, hold on to something. Keep something straight. Keep something in line, just a little bit. Attempt to. And that's the thing, is there's no effort to maintain the boxing community. There's no, the boxing standard. That's why I'm not a big fan of this guy. That's why I flame this guy. I know a lot of people think I got something against Mexican. I don't have nothing against Mexican people, black people, white people, whatever. I got shit against. I'm prejudiced against bullshitters. I'm prejudiced against horse shit. That's what I am. I don't like horse shit. And I don't like the way this shit smells. It smells like hot horse shit. You know? For real. It's ugly. It's deceptive. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit. I want to know, and we're gonna get an undisputed champion at 135. That to me is dope. That to me is cool as fuck. You know what I mean? And then, you know, maybe we'll see one of them young bucks get in there and do some shit. You know, come in there. Maybe we get the winner of Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia taking on Lomachenko for undisputed. Now you talking. Now you're talking about a big event. And what does it matter if we're in the 20%, being that we're outnumbered? Then but I guarantee you, them hardcore fans show up. They're going to pay for that pay per view. They're going to, why not have another 20%? That 20% of the boxing fans show up. It's only going to benefit your pockets and help them promote the fight as well, because hardcore fans are going to promote the shit out of it. You ain't even got to do too much. They're going to hype the fight. They're going to do their promos. They're going to be talking about it constantly. There's going to be lives about it, and they're going to have facts to back that shit. Reminds me of the world politics. It does. Strategic, very, very, very much just strategic. This dude right here. This dude been doing this shit for a long time. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly where he's at. He knows exactly what he's doing. And he's just trying to get that money, man. He's trying to get that money. Always crash it. See, that's Suleiman pulling up to a hardcore fan. That's supposed to be, that's his dad, right? But that's how the hardcore fan, like, get the fuck out of here. Why are you here? Get the fuck out. It's like, nah, man, I'm here to stay and play. And y'all here to pay. Y'all go pay for my beer and tip. And I'll give you this nice shiny WBC hat. You can rock it. Here's a medallion made out of lead. I got you. Oh my God, man. I'm a little disappointed, but hey, man, it's content, I guess. It's content to put out and talk about, because, oh man. And it's funny too, because he said he's not gonna sanction anything. He said he's not gonna sanction the shit at all. You know? And if y'all don't believe me, or check this shit out. Boom. I'm gonna drop this for y'all. Check that shit out. It's crazy. That's crazy. There's the link. Check it out. No, fucking it's bad. But we do got an undisputed coming on. I'm hyped about the Lomachenko and Haney fight. I think they both fantastic fighters. You got an up and coming young man who's undisputed, but new to the game, sort of, in comparison to Lomachenko. And then you got the vet that been doing it for a minute, who been rising up and continuing to move up in weight classes and dominate and still competing at a ceiling at a high level, Yeah, they on some BS, man. Of course they on some BS. WBC has always been on that shit, man. It's a fact. It's a fucking fact, man. They've been doing this shit for long enough, man. They've been doing it long enough. And I'm tired of that shit, man. I'm just like, yo, they just be up here capping and spitting nothing but fucking.
You'll get to see. Instances of bullshit like this are on the rise.
Shit, it's like killing some shit twice, man.
Horse shit.
Nothing but horse shit. Horse shit promotions. We done with it. We done with it, Suleiman. Don't nobody want to hear it. You know what I mean? You know? You should be fucking sanctioned. They should be putting sanctions on your ass since you want to get all political. For real. This dude right here, man. Fucking it up. What's going on, Boxing Lounge?
1-2 Kid. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. I see you pulled up that Undisputed too. You got that little Undisputed shit on your channel now too, huh?
Yeah, been practicing real hard at that game because the mechanics are quite different to what I'm used to. So I'm doing my best to adapt.
Yeah. Well, hey, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. You got it on PC because it's not on console yet, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting on it. I got a dusty ass PS5 right now. I ain't touched it to that Undisputed comes.
Nice.
It's just sitting there collecting dust. I was like, I'm not getting this shit. But my old lady was like, I'll get that for you. I was like, damn, I ain't got even got the game yet. I was like, the game ain't come out yet. I said, it's gonna sit there and collect dust. And that's exactly what that motherfucker did. But still in all, man, I'm ready for it when it drops. I'll definitely cop it. And because I've only been waiting for like 12 years.
I think you can still use the PS5 to play 4K Blu-rays or 4K Blu-rays. I think maybe it does something like that.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah, you could do that. Absolutely. I think you could play the PS4 shit, but the problem is
Oh yeah, you can do that as well. Yeah.
the last title to come out was on PS3, which was Fight Night Champion, which I was
That's
pretty
right.
good at, but then my PS3 kicked the bucket when I relocated. So I haven't been able to play that at all. And then I can't play it on the PS5 because it's not compatible. You got to download it, and it's not one of the games that you can download. So I'm just shit out of luck. I'm shit out of luck on that note. So I'm just finding other shit to do.
Yeah, I hear you.
In the hobby shit, which could make me put out some more content, but I've been working so much, so it's been like, whatever. But I haven't been really because I've just been hearing like there's been good things happening in boxing, but then there's been just like some serious horse shit happening too. Same old shit, different day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what wanted to ask you about the WBC bullshit. Right, I clicked on the link, but then I started questioning. All right, first of all, the first fight wasn't in Russia. Then I'm thinking maybe Bivol's asking for the rematch in Russia, and maybe that's an excuse why the WBC said their thing. But even if that was the case, and that was the sticking point, they can just move the venue to somewhere else.
Right.
Why?
Right. Why are you saying that it's not going to happen? And then on top of that, what he's saying is he's not going to give him an opportunity to even like he said they not
Defend the
sanctioning
belt.
anything for him. Like he said we're not sanctioning Bivol to fight for any WBC belt. So that means he can't fight at 168 either for Undisputed.
See, it's weird to me because when you're talking about world politics, when you use the term sanctions, it means kind of the opposite, doesn't it? Than it does to boxing. Boxing, it means it's going ahead, but the rest of the world means that you're getting punished.
Right, you're getting punished. Right, you're getting punished. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said if he gonna be political, he should be sanctioned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like take that fucking, and that's what I mean. They should be capping. They should be either capping or giving the fighters, like you said, like a universal rule where they can get like they don't have to pay that much, or they get some sort of like deal when they got all four
Yeah.
belts. You know what I mean? It's not like, I mean, how many weight divisions are there? How many sanctioning fees are you getting? You understand? And
Well,
I mean,
un
shit.
Undisputed Sports section, at least four, isn't it?
Right, but what I'm talking about is how many weight, like come on, like weight classes. You're sanctioning WBC from like, what is it, 96 pounds all the way up to heavyweight.
200. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're talking, and with all the mid, like, of recent 30, 40 years, they added, or 20 years, they added other weight classes. Now they're trying to throw the Bridger weight in there. And it's like,
Hmm.
okay, cool, but you're going to strategically line up the biggest fights that are going to bring in the most money, but for the great fighters that never have the opportunity to reach that pinnacle of making huge money or becoming a big star, because you can't deny some great fighters. It doesn't matter how much you say, okay, they're not this, they're not that. They're still lingering. They're still making big money. They're still doing shit. They're finding loopholes to get in there, and you're trying to find loopholes to keep them out. Whether you're a
Hmm.
sanctioned body or a promotional team, you don't want these dudes to be a part of anything. You want them out because they're not under your banner. So you trying to protect your brand. And it's like, dude, like, it's too political. It's gotten too political to where it's shitting all over the sport. And
Hmm.
I don't care for it. And you got one guy that's Russian and another guy that's Russian. All right. One dude who wasn't even, I'm not even sure Bivol was born in Russia. I'm not sure he even stays in Russia like that. Because I heard he was in St. Petersburg, but I heard he was born somewhere else, and then I heard he stays in Cali. You know,
But has he got like dual citizenship or something like that?
I don't know. I know Better BF does though. He has, I think he has a what is it? He has a passport, or what's it called when you go to another country, you get a, not just a passport, you get something else. I'm not sure if it's citizenship, but I'm saying though, he was born
Oh,
in Russia.
residency.
Yeah, some sort of residency where you can stay for a while or what have you, or under certain codes or whatever. But yeah,
Hmm.
his shit sanctioned. He don't have a problem sanctioning him to defend his title. So I'm going, damn, like it just seems like kind of like a I don't know, like a power move, like, you know what I mean, like a bully move. Like, nah, you can't fight for this because Canelo wants to fight you at 175, and we don't want to. I don't think Suleiman wants to even take the chance of Canelo losing at 168 because it's gonna hurt his stock.
Of course it is, but I mean, to be honest, I think me personally, I mean, it's noble that Canelo wants to take the fight at once. No, hold
Yes,
on a
me
minute.
too. Me too. I got nothing
Hold on,
against
it was
Canelo
Bivol.
doing
I think it was Bivol said he'd take the fight at
fight
168,
at
wasn't it?
168, right? Because he said, well,
Yeah, but do you remember the last person who at 175 who said they would drop down to 168? Do you know what
it didn't
happened to
go his
them?
way. Yeah, yeah.
No,
Bad Chad Johnson.
that's right,
Right, and he
against
got he
Ward.
got wiped out. He got wiped out. But to be fair, Bad Chad was, I think he was a bit bigger than Bivol, and Bivol was kind of
Mm,
on the lighter side of 175. But what I'm
mm,
trying to say is, if I think it's like, I don't, whether they fight at 175 or 168 doesn't matter to me, and I don't think either one of these dudes are worried about either, you know what I mean? Like, they both
mm,
want to
mm,
fight. As for Canelo and Bibble kind of want the 175 shit, but then I'm not sure now. You know what I mean? Because he's saying,
mm.
well, it's not about the money, but then the offer ain't right. But then I'm like, then hear the Suleiman shit, and I'm like, well, then maybe the offer had to do with the fact that the WBC won't be included. You know what I'm saying?
So they
And then,
still negotiating without the belt? Is that what you're saying?
well, I guess they might have
Yeah.
been. Like, it's a guess,
Well,
because
well, if they
think
are,
about it.
and the fight goes ahead, and it's a financial success, people are going to
Right.
start saying, "Well, we don't need the belts anymore."
Right. Right. But that's the thing is, then you look at it like that and you go, okay, well, that fight's not going down. And this dude's like, well, nah, I'm not going to sanction the bout. And then you're like, what? Why? And then, trying to pull money out of fucking, Bob Earl is like, she's not going to take the shiny nickel, man. He can be like, it's a shiny nickel. That's a brand new nickel. you know, he ain't going to pay, but he will make the big fights and he will promote the shit out of them. But he just don't like he'll pay, but it's like pulling teeth with that dude. And I'm not saying that Bibble's a big spectacle, but or better BF, but I mean, what really haven't these two dudes done? You got one dude who took on the face of boxing and one dude who's 3-belt fucking unified champion, reaching for undisputed as well, and cleaning motherfuckers, knocking everybody out. Ain't that what people love? You know what I'm saying? Everyone that says, oh, well, nobody wants to see a boring fighter like Shakur. Yet this motherfucker knocking motherfuckers out, and he can't even get the fights that he wants. He's fighting Callum Smith, which I think is a great fight too. But shit, why not let Callum get a shot at undisputed? You know what I mean? Let these two dudes fight.
Actually, I just did a quick search, right? And I put
Mhm.
in WBC war sanctions, right, just to see what would come up. But apparently, on the Bleacher Report, it says all the belts won't sanction title fights in Russia, but it just says Russia. Let me click on the article.
Wow.
So I can understand it not being Russia, but if it's just Russia and it's nowhere else, then it's not really that big a deal. It means the fights can still go ahead, but just a
Right.
different location.
And then and that's the other thing. They're both saying that the fight can still happen, but it's gonna be later. But then you got the people that's like, well, Better is gonna be older, and they're trying to age him out. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that's anyone else's fault that he's old.
Yeah, but how long ago did Bivol and Canelo fight? Was it after the start of the war?
You know what? I don't know.
Because if it was, then the WBC are being hypocrites. Because they sanctioned the first fight.
I think it was because remember they held his pay. Remember they held his pay because of it?
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember they held Bibble's pay? They didn't pay him right away?
I don't remember coming across that, but I haven't been fully invested for a while. To be honest.
I got you. I don't blame you. Honestly, but I mean, I just feel like it just sounds to me like just a bunch of politics, man, that's hurting the sport. And it's just like, why can't we just click on watch these guys fight, watch the best fight the best, and pay for it? Because everything seems to be a pay-per-view now, but with nothing really on the line. Everything seems to be a pay-per-view.
I'm wondering if Canelo had actually won the first fight, would the WBC still be taking the stance that they're taking now? Because I'm thinking that Suleiman's word about his cash cow losing twice in a row.
Yeah, right. Me too. And if he's to be not undisputed anymore, then that's gonna take a drop, a financial drop. Because even though he has a great following, it's like, yo, this dude lost back to back. If it happens, you know what I mean? If he does lose, which I think he might, but still, you never know. It's boxing. But still, if he loses, back to back losses and no belts, 0. And he's a legacy fighter. That's not a good look. It's not a good look that Bibble's saying that the offer wasn't all that great. It's not a good look that go ahead.
What do you think Canelo could actually do differently in the rematch? Because his gas tank, in my opinion, won't be any better than it was.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I think in a rematch, if it was at 168, if the weight cut affected him at 175, I don't see him doing anything because he's got good feet, but that was why I picked Bivol in the fight. I said, this dude's going to have to work all night. Either he's going to be chasing fucking Bivol, and then when Bivol turns it up on him, he's just going to shell up. And there's no way that he could get away from him. You know what I mean? He's got to be in there with him And when he's offensive, he's got to work for the offense, overwork, because this dude's feet is just too quick. This dude's all over the ring. And then when he's an in and out ambush fighter, when he turns it up, what is he gonna do? I honestly feel that Beterbiev has a much better chance, and I'm not talking about just size, like everyone else, but he can fight well on his back foot, and he can fight well on his front foot, and he knows how to close off the ring. I don't think that Canelo has ever truly mastered that. I mean, I've seen him walk people down, but they just kind of would get tired, and then he'd fight in spurts, and he'd fight in spurts because he's got a very good defense, so he could just walk forward and track you down. You know what I mean? But he knows himself to not overexert himself, because he looked spent in a lot of that Bivol fight.
I thought he used too many power shots too early, and that's one of the reasons why he gassed.
Maybe
trying to hurt Bivol.
Right, he did, and it just didn't have the same effect that it did on those 168 guys. I mean, he bruised his arm, but it didn't look like Callum Smith's arm. You know what I'm saying? He just had the bruise on it, and was like, yeah, he was trying to punch through my arm, man. He said, but my face is fine, because the defense was on point. So I don't know if there's much that he can do unless Bivol does something different.
Unless Bivol makes a lot of mistakes, but I see Bivol being even better.
Yeah. I do too. He just seems like a disciplined individual, I just feel like, it's funny to me, because I remember this when everyone was saying that Bivol was ducking Zerto. Remember that narrative that was being pushed around? So he was ducking Zerto, and then when they got in the ring, we seen what happened. Fucking whitewash, 19 punch combinations and shit. It was ridiculous. But I can recall when Zerto had an opportunity to fight for a title eliminator to become the mandatory for Beterbiev in all his belts, or his 2 belts. I think it was 2 belts at the time. And he chose the other route. He wanted to go after Bivol, which he already had an opportunity to do that, but nobody talked about that. When I talked about it, everyone was like, you're just like Bivol. And I'm like, nah, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I think Zerto's a decent fighter. I think he's a huge guy. He could be a problem. You know what I mean? For anyone. I still think he could be a problem at 175, even though he got whitewashed by Bivol. I still think he could be an issue for somebody. He's relentless. He's got a great chin. He's got a good punch. And he's got good timing too. And he's huge. So, I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't think him moving up to like cruiser is a great idea. But if you stuck around at 175,
Bivol no doubt he could definitely move up, but it's a case of how much compromise of the speed.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I'm not talking about Bivol. I'm talking about Zerto.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm like, he move up, but I'm like, them guys are huge. You know what I mean? Those are some big guys. And we just seen what happened to Juggernaut. You get punched enough, it don't matter how good your chin is. You get pieced up. He could not stop that left hand. Oh my God. Juggernaut, he was like, I was never hurt. I'm like, yo, man, I seen that dude getting rocked all over the ring. He's got a good
It's almost as if someone said to him before the fight, I'll give you $2 million to see how many punches you can take.
So he could not slip that left hand. It was just like Zhang throws a left hand and punches the Jug in the face. There was another left. Whenever he threw that left hand, it just landed. Then he was even hooking him. I was like, that crack, 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 crack. And yo, it was crazy too that they didn't put that inswell on till like the later rounds. I'm like, yo, where's that inswell at, man? Like, put
someone get me an ice pack.
Yeah, the Pac-Man eye, man. Like, you fucking holy shit. You just allowed that shit to seal up. They're looking at it. You said he could see, but he didn't want to quit. But he's gonna fuck around and get a shattered orbital because those lefts from that guy who's damn near 300 pounds, I don't care. And you can
That's
hear him
gonna
too.
fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one that rocked him. Oh my god! I think everybody in the arena heard that one.
Yeah. I was like, holy cow. And then when old dude went down too, the 6'6", 154-pounder, man. When he went down, boy. Whew. Yeah, we've seen some good fights. I mean, there's some good fights on, but man, I mean, this guy right here though, it looked so
Who-
bad when he went down, man.
have you done any predictions for Loma and Haney?
I kind of picked I picked Haney. I picked Haney a lot earlier.
Hmm.
Just because of the age, because of the weight. I feel
Hmm.
that Lomachenko is 135, and I think he's talented. I think his skill set is still better than a lot of people at 135, but I think that's what he's relying on, and the size is definitely taking its toll on him. He's a really small guy, and like when he was fighting, that's why I had Teo, because Teo, when Teo hit him, even when he blocked the shot, he moved him across the ring. You
Right.
know, yeah, and
Hmm.
he was younger, so he turned it on in the 12th to steal the fight. Everyone said that Lomachenko was almost gonna knock Teo out in the 12th round, and I'm like, what fight was you watching? He had moments in the fights in the rounds prior, but in the 12th round, I totally gave that to Teo. I was like, it looked like he was looking for a way out, as in Lomachenko. I think
Hmm.
he
Hmm.
when he was getting rocked, he fucking came in with his head, and then he kind of shouldered him and elbowed him and caused the cut to fucking
Yeah, but
take a break.
do you think Haney has the same strength and power as Teo?
Absolutely not. No. That's not the case. But he's still a bigger
Okay.
guy. Like I don't think you got the power to really hurt Lomachenko like that at all. But enough to get. He's got respectable power. He's got a jab. I seen Lomachenko in his last fight. He didn't look that gravy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look
Hmm.
as fluent as he once was. The skill set's there, but the athleticism isn't. He keeps his hands at
What
home a
weight
lot
was the
more
fight
now.
at?
135, right? His
Oh,
last fight.
oh, okay.
When
Don't
he fought
don't think I've seen it.
who was it? Who did he fight? It was the Spanish kid. Was he Cuban? He kept his hands home way too long, kind of like what he did with Teal. And I knew he was going to destroy Nakatani. It was this style
Hmm.
matchup. I was like, Nakatani's too slow, and even with his height advantage, I was like, Lomachenko's going to pick this dude apart. There's too many holes in his game, and he's like kind of a blood guts warrior. You know what I'm saying? He got
Hmm.
decent skill set, but Lomachenko uses angles. He ain't gonna be able to. His feet ain't fast enough to stop Lomachenko from stealing them angles from him. He's not quick enough to catch him when he's coming out. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
in his last fight, you had a very quick young guy. The fight before, you had a powerful, quick young guy. You know what I'm saying? And then
Hmm. Hmm.
in Tio, and now you got a super quick and accurate guy with a good defense and good skills, and he's younger. And youth is a motherfucker, and he's a good fighter, and he's the undisputed champion, whether people like it or not. He didn't get
Hmm.
there. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
had to
He earned his
perform.
stripes.
Yeah, he earned his stripes. So I got him like that. But as to me, the best 135 guy, even though he only had one fight, it's Shakur Stevens. I think Shakur
Hmm.
Stevens whips all their asses. And I don't think that he gets a fight. I think he gets Bud Crawford. They Bud Crawford that motherfucker. I really feel they're gonna keep that motherfucker out of the loop. Because notice when he moved up, all of a
Uh-huh.
sudden you got the Haney and the Lomachenko. All of a sudden you got the Tank and the and the Ryan. So they're gonna just try to make the biggest fights they can to avoid getting in there with that guy. And I'm not knocking them because they were ahead in line. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Hmm. Hmm.
But if he gets in there with him, I'm putting my money up. I'm going right to the bookies. He get in there with a big name, I'm all over it. I just think his skill set is too high. He makes it look so easy. That's why people say he's boring. I don't find him boring at all. Yo, when
No,
I watched that fight, I'm like, holy did you see that? What the fuck was that? Who does that? You know what I mean? He's like a like like
so do you
fucking
think Shakur
Bunny Boy.
beats God, I've forgotten his name. He's the southpaw. Tattoos on his face. Loma Haney, Shakur. No, it's the other guy. The one I haven't mentioned. 135. The southpaw. The one that grabbed his chick by the throat.
Grabbed whose chick? Oh, you talking about Tank?
Yeah, Tank.
Yeah. I think he beats Tank too. Tank
Okay.
is super talented. He just has lapses. I seen it in the fight where he was fighting who was he was fighting when he was fighting Gamboa. And Gamboa was touching him with a torn Achilles tendon or whatever it was that he had in a missing shoe, and he was looking at the corner like, yo. And now keep in mind, Gamboa couldn't really get any power behind them shots because he couldn't plant his feet, his 1 foot. But they were landing, and I'm like, you got quick hands, a sharp guy. Yo, I'll tell you what, Shakur lands a 3-punch combination on fucking Tank Davis, and Tank Davis going to turn super flustered. He going to look at his corner. He's going to be like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? And but of course, Tank got a puncher's chance, and he got skills too as well. But I just don't see fucking Shakur making mistakes like that. You know, falling for traps and shit. He's too busy setting them. You know what I mean? You got to be
You've
like.
done a prediction for Tank and Ryan?
I have not. I honestly, I'm watching that fight to see one of them get knocked out. I don't care what. Honestly, I do though.
I don't want to see a 12-round fight.
No, well, maybe if it's a good one, but I'm just saying, like, I like them both as fighters. I think they're both super talented. They got good followings for nowadays. You know what I mean? But they unaccomplished in the fact that they're getting the shine that they're getting, and the guys that are doing it the hard way aren't getting any for showcasing talent against higher talent. It bothers me because it's like, you got two dudes that are playing in the Super Bowl for no Super Bowl title, and everyone's tuned in. Like, I'm not knocking the fact that they're popular. I'm knocking the fact that they're more popular than the guys that are doing it the right way, that fought better competition, that have the accolades to back them up. You know what I mean? Guys that you're going to see in the Hall of Fame, and I feel like it's starting to lose its shine, like the Hall of Fame and the legacy, because of the politics of boxing. And I feel like that's what, and I feel like they're taking full advantage of it. So I'm not knocking them for that, but I'm knocking them for spitting on the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what they should do now is kind of follow the blueprint of Jesus, what's his name? The three initials, KSI, and that other idiot.
Paul.
Paul, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what they should do is start promoting YouTubers that have a bit of talent to fight, that have a draw, and start to mix them into boxing. That'll draw in more and more casuals.
Right. And then you could get eyes on the sport, and then you get people to understand it. And when they watch it enough, they start understanding it. Problem is that the attention span of some folks nowadays it's not that bright. Like, it's not that great. So they don't pick up on it. They just go, oh, this guy got knocked out. All right, now on to the next, because it doesn't interest them like that. You know what I mean? Everyone's kind of on the go. They're fast. They're fast in it. They don't put much thought into certain things. Just go, it's entertainment, and just keep it moving. It's just the way the world is today. I'm not a fan of it,
Hmm.
but unfortunately, I can't change that. So but it is, the attention span is not there like it used to be. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna have someone like blood boxing, you know, go down a line of what somebody did, or the boxing historian, or guys like Mark that are like elephants and remember everything. You know what I mean? Or guys that are just pushing for moral or integrity in the sport, like the UGC and other guys.
Hmm.
You're gonna have people that are going to cling to you know the the glare, the sparkly
And
shit. You know what I'm
Mark's
saying?
been MIA for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah, yes, and he's very he had some insight, man. He would drop some knowledge on you. I've been in some long talks with him, man. Both, just agreeing and debates and all that, and it was very
Hmm.
enjoyable talking to him. And with the one thing I could say is, I never really knocked him. He never really knocked me. We just kind of just it was good to, like, I enjoyed even debating him. It was fun. It was intriguing. I like learning. You know what I'm saying? And as does
Right.
he. And then he holds on to it though. Me, I don't know. I'll forget someone's name in like 2 seconds. I'm like, that guy. I'm like, where's Lisa at? Lisa, no. Oh, where is Lisa? Always pulls me out. You know what I mean? She always saves the day because it is what it is. Though I have fun though. I just like having fun, and I enjoy the sport, and I just don't want it to lose its integrity, man. And that's what I feel like
Hmm.
it's losing, and it sucks as a fan to watch it go down like that. But I'm not as passionate as I was 2, 3 years ago about it as much anymore, because I'm just like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? I'll still
Hmm.
push the shit. I'll still stand my ground, but what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? If they ain't listening, can't make them listen, man. People want to be lied to. The truth hurts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's my opening statement, and it's like, how about not listening to your ass? It's that
Yep.
quick. But it is what it is, and yeah, I enjoy it. But I do enjoy the sport. I do. It can be entertaining at times, but man, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see. I don't think anyone's gonna be around for Shakur at 135. I think everyone's just gonna disappear.
What, 140 and beyond?
Yep. I think everyone's going to disappear after that fight. And I could be surprised, man. Maybe Haney or Lomachenko, or maybe even Tank or Ryan do get in there. But that, to me, is a pipe dream. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
there's
a
always
pipe.
catch weights.
There's catch weights, but I just don't see these guys competing. I don't see sanctioning bodies allowing it to happen. I don't see advisors allowing it to happen. And I don't see promoters allowing it to happen, because, there's always those styles out there. Let's just label this dude boring. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, this dude's been getting stoppages, and they're still saying, yeah, but he's feather fisted. He moved up in weight, and he's just piecing guys up, and he wanted this. Like, I felt like the stoppage was a little early, but I understood it. But I knew what
Uh-huh.
the outcome was going to be. He was going to stop him. He wanted to stop him. And it it just didn't happen. And the way he iced the one kid there also, um at 130, was it Consile? Is that his name?
Oh,
The one who
I'm
gave
not sure.
that everyone thought beat Oscar, I mean, yeah, Oscar T's, Oscar Valdez. He
Hmm.
whitewashed that dude too. And that dude could box. That dude's good. That's what he was known for, you know, and just outbox a boxer. And made it look easy. Same, you know, made it look
Hmm.
easy. So I'm like, you
Kid's
make
got
it look,
skills.
yeah, super skills, and he's young. And to have those type of skills this early on, that's how Floyd got as far as he did. You know what I mean? It wasn't just talent, it was talent and skill. Same with Lomachenko, longevity, talent and skill. You know what I mean? When you got talent and skill, you can rely. It fucking Hopkins, some dirty skills, but he had skills.
Mm.
That motherfucker fought
Uh,
till he was 50 in discipline.
51, I think.
Yep. He didn't go out very well, but man, did he stretch it. It sucks. It sucks when you see him go out like that. First it
Oh
was the
god, yeah.
bone.
I thought Kovalev was his last fight. It wasn't. It was
No, Joe Smith, right?
the guy Joe Smith,
Yeah,
the
he
guy
knocked him
knocked him
out
out of the
the ring.
ring.
He hit his head on the concrete.
You know, B Hop's been knocked out of the ring. I think 3 times.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was knocked out of the ring with who was the one kid there that he was always fighting, that crazy dude, and they would get into crazy fights. If y'all never watched them fight, y'all should watch them. Uh, what was his name? He was a. It was right before the Trinidad fight. He fought the dude like twice, maybe even 3 times.
Was it the first fight in Ecuador, or was it that one?
No, I think he fought. Who was the dude could punch? He had a really hard punch. He was crazy too, and they kept fighting. I had to look it up, but it was really when I hear his name, I know. Um,
I think Loma's gonna really hammer the body.
oh, you think you're gonna beat him up? Well, it would.
I,
Not many
I
people are
think
going
he's
to the party on him.
I think he's going to target the body because of his reach or lack of reach, because the
Yeah,
body's closer than the head, if you know what I mean.
right, right. And then that'll slow the legs down, and then he could break them down. Yeah, it's possible. I just think that jab, he's been having an issue with the twitchy shots, twitchy straight shots,
Hmm.
and the jab. In his last fight, he had an issue with that jab and an active jab. So if you have an active jab and you can use it, it seems to disrupt his game. And if you got good feet and don't allow him to cut the ring off on you or use his angles, like we seen T.O. do it in moments, and we seen the one guy who he just his in his last fight, same exact thing. Oh, Antoine Eccles was the guy's name.
Eccles. Okay.
Eccles might have knocked him out the ring as well. He also punched him in the back of the head. Yeah, they had some wars, man. Yo, those were yeah. Hopkins beat him twice, but they went to war. Yeah, that was watching him then is why I picked him over Trinidad, because he'd be on Tuesday night fights just kicking ass. Fucking yeah. Hopkins was
Hopkins
different.
had really good upper body mobility when he's at 160, but he didn't
Yeah,
really show the same at 175. I mean, not
yeah,
not the not the range of movement, because he used to
mm,
sit on the ropes, bob and weave, and then counter
yeah,
at 160.
yep. But he was just going through guys for a long time after that loss to um Jones. He was just dominating the middleweight division easy for a long period of time, and where he had like
20
a
defenses,
record for
wasn't it?
defenses. Yeah,
Same as Kawasaki,
and
but that was at
his
168.
right, but then he moved up, and then I mean, but to be
He
competing
moved
at
up two
that,
weight divisions.
dude, he fought Calzaghe, Winky Wright, Antonio Tarver, Jermaine Taylor in a row.
And Kelly Pavlik as well, I think.
Yeah, and Kelly Pavlik as well. Then went on to fight Roy Jones, Chad Dawson
Jarvis
twice.
McLeod, I think.
Cloud, he destroyed Cloud, and
Cloud had a belt as well, didn't he?
yeah, and but Cloud got washed. Oh, Cloud went into retirement after that Better Be a fight. That was bad.
Did Hopkins pick up 3 belts at light heavy? Or was it 2? I can't
I'm not
remember.
sure.
I think it was 2.
I don't know. Let me check it out. Oh,
Unless one of them was the IBO, but we don't really count that.
yeah. Yeah, they don't. Let's see. He took on. Let's see. So Pascal wasn't for a belt. Oh, it was for the IBO. Oh yeah, you said the IBO, right? WBC World Light Heavyweight as well. The WBC. It says for the
Mm-hmm.
vacant IBO, but the WBC.
Yeah.
Why is that even there? It says IBO and WBC Light Heavyweight. Jean Pascal. That was 170. Yeah, 175.
Oh, because
I know
Jean
he didn't
Pascal
fight.
beat who did he beat for that? It was Dawson,
Damn.
wasn't it? He beat
Yeah.
Dawson for that. I think they fought
He fought
twice. Was
Kelly
it?
Pavlik at 170.
Yeah, it was at a catchweight.
Oh wow.
Because Kelly was at 160 or 168 before that.
Yeah, you're right. It's the IBO. Because Taylor in at 160 took all them titles. I'm not sure Taylor won that second fight though.
No, I don't think he did. I think he won the first one, but not the
Yeah,
second
I
one.
do too. I don't think he won that second fight, and I thought that, and that's what sucked for Taylor because Taylor could have been so much more, man. Once that motherfucker, I'm telling you, man, he could have, man. That jab was insane,
The power
and
he had in his jab was like a right
yeah,
hand,
hmm
especially when he sat on it.
but he pulled a Teal, man, or Teal pulled a Taylor. Once they beat that quote unquote pound for pound champ, it went to his head. He made zero adjustments. Then it didn't matter who was
Hmm.
in his corner. He didn't listen to anybody. I beat Bernard Hopkins. I beat the pound for pound best. I was, undisputed. What you telling me? What you talking about? It didn't matter who was in his corner talking to him. Even the great Emmanuel Stewart was like, "Let your hands go, motherfucker." This motherfucker looked at him like he was crazy. He was like, you know what I'm saying? It was nuts. Remember that shit.
Go, man. Don't give a
Taylor-
fuck whether you land or not. Just let him go. But you gotta let punches go. You got 3 minutes, man. You gotta fight.
Damn, that's a good drop.
Yeah, that motherfucker. Yeah, and I was a big Taylor fan, but I was hoping that Hopkins was gonna move before he took over, because I was afraid that was gonna happen. Just like Tio, I was a big Tio fan, and I'm like, man, I don't know if he wins this fight, man. I hope he don't fucking pull that. Me and Mark were talking about. I was like, I hope he don't pull a Jermaine Taylor, and he sure did. Worst.
I think
would've
Hopkins
knocked him out.
was trying to get a record reign. That's before he moved up. Because
Yeah,
he was 42, was it, before he moved up? Or 41?
yeah, yeah. And I gotta admit, Bad Chad was on a tirade before that huge loss, man. And then he wound up getting knocked out by Superman too, right? In the first round after the Hopkins fight by Stevenson.
Oh, yes. I remember it
Stevenson.
now.
Yeah,
Was it after the
Stevenson.
Hopkins fight?
Yeah, I believe it was after. He knocked that motherfucker into oblivion. I was like,
No,
oh,
I
it
think it
was
was.
before?
Oh, hold on. Who knocked out Dawson first? Was it Superman or was it Andre Ward?
Andre Ward, I thought, beat him first. When he came down to
Okay.
168. I think Andre Ward. I think he was undefeated when he fought Andre Ward,
I think you're right. Yeah.
or had a draw, or might have had one loss, but I don't think it was a knockout loss. And then I thought he lost to my boy, man, one of my favorite fighters. Who was that? Was campaigning at 175 that stopped Roy Jones too.
Give me some more.
Okay, I'll know. I'll pull it up right now because I know this. I know he fought
Was it
him.
Australian guy?
No,
No, that was a cruiserweight.
Jamaican.
Jamaican. 175. Stop, Jones.
Yeah, he stopped Jones. The dude that stopped Jones after
Oh, you're talking. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Bernard Hopkins stopped the same guy.
yeah.
Tito Trinidad. No, not Tito Trinidad. Oh, what's his name?
Oh, Glenn
George Groves
Johnson.
fought him. That's it.
Glenn Johnson.
George Groves. He was actually a last minute replacement in the Super 6.
In Super 6, yep. Glenn Johnson. I love Glenn Johnson. That dude, man. I love Glenn. I thought he beat Chad Dawson. I really did. I thought he beat
I don't think
Chad
I've seen
Dawson,
that fight.
man. Yeah, and he was pissed. Matter of fact, that's my opening in my new shit is when he's talking about losing to Chad Dawson. He was like, "Come on, man, I worked my butt off for this fight." He was like, y'all fucking really dogged me out in this one. But yeah, he had some stoppages. He had some big wins, and he came to fight every fight.
He
Every
was
fight.
tough as well. Do you see the
Yeah.
shots that George Groves landed on him and he could not stop him?
Yeah.
And he
Yup.
was like
Wait a
mid
minute.
40s, I think.
George Groves did fight him, and he lost to
Yeah.
UD. Yup. You're right. I didn't see that fight. Now that's a fight I gotta watch. You gotta watch the other one, and I gotta watch that one. Yeah.
Yep.
He also lost to Carl Froch as well. That was during the Super Six. He lost to Trevor's Cloud. But a lot of his losses were questionable. You know, he didn't have the big
Hmm.
name. You know, and that always hit him where it hurts, man. That always hit him where it hurts. I think was somebody on here for a minute, and I didn't see them. Oh
I can't see
shit!
backstage.
Yeah, because I heard the click, but I was going through all the if
I
somebody
didn't
was
hear it.
trying to get on there, I wasn't checking the comments. I was looking through everything. So my
Uh,
apologies, y'all.
Might have been
If I didn't,
UGC or Charles.
yeah, that's what I'm guessing. But yeah, I was disappointed with the whole Bibble shit. That shit is hot garbage, man. That shit is hot garbage. I had the day
I
off
th-
today, so I said, fuck it.
mhm. I think someone. This is just my conspiratorial mind. I think someone is paying Mauricio to take that stance,
Maybe it's possible. I mean,
or
I
leaning
wouldn't
on
doubt
him
it.
one way or another.
Or yeah, yes, it's quite possible, man. I mean, he's about the money, man. He's about the fees. That's what he
Hmm.
wants. He wants to do this, and he just wants to keep everything all the way up, man. All the way up. Yeah, I was looking hard for that stuff, for all the stuff we get into. But we start going back. Uh, certain
One,
people.
two. I've got like 3%. My phone is
All right, man.
red
Well, thanks
hot and
for
it
coming
will
on, man.
not
I appreciate
charge.
it.
But thanks for having me on. Appreciate
Oh
that,
yeah, no
man.
problem,
Take it
man.
easy.
No problem. Yeah,
All right.
guys.
Peace.
Peace. If y'all want to click the link again, you're more than welcome. I was going through the internet looking for a whole, you know, going back in time and shit, checking out Box Rec, trying to figure out you know, the back end stats of what we were talking about with Glenn Johnson and Jermaine Taylor and Bernard Hopkins and all that shit. But yeah, so Suleiman looked pretty bad off, man. He looked pretty bad off in this as usual. You know what I mean? Here we go again with the bullshit. Same old same. Guy ain't about legacy. He don't want undisputed. He not looking forward to anything. You know what I mean? You can't look at undisputed at 168. You can't look at undisputed wherever. He said there's gonna be no fights in Russia, but it doesn't matter because if these guys don't fight in Russia, he said he's not gonna sanction Bivol at all. You know, he said he's not gonna sanction him at all. So that might have been a part of the deal. You know what I'm saying? That may have been a part of the deal of why this guy is why they're not fighting. The WBC wouldn't have been included, so it would not have been for undisputed, which is crazy. It's fucking crazy to me. You know, it's crazy to me that we can't get an undisputed bout, and it's just nuts, man. It's nuts to me, y'all. But oh, we could drop the link one more time if y'all want to get on. Like I said, uh, that way, you know what I mean. Like I said, I was looking through shit. So if the link is up, you're more than welcome to hop on as well and see. Tell me what your thoughts is on this whole little situation that's been going on, and how undisputed is being blocked in two different weight classes for Bivol, and because he's a Russian. And that's the stance. And then I guess Boxing Lounge said that the sanctioning body said that they're not sanctioning any bouts in Russia, but is the fight going to be in Russia, or can they hold the bout someplace else? I think these are all the things that came up. Like I said, I don't think Canelo is worried about, like, scared of fighting Bivol again. I don't think the Bivol's afraid of fighting Beterbiev, and I don't think the Beterbiev is concerned about fighting Bivol. I feel like the politics just ain't letting this shit happen, y'all. It's just not letting it happen. And I don't know what this newfound stance is that Suleiman got, you know, because he seems to sanction other fights when guys are doing something in gals. That seems to be all right. And he's certainly sanctioning Beterbiev to fight anywhere. So to defend his title. So this makes zero sense to me. It seems like a strategic stance on something because it's possibly, it's about the Bucks, and he might be covering for Canelo. You don't want this guy, because if the guy competes at 168 and loses his titles at 168 and has back-to-back losses, them sanctioning fees ain't gonna be that much. That's why they should fucking cap sanctioning fees so that we could get the real bouts that we need. And Boxing Lounge brought up a good point as well. They should also, like, find a when you're undisputed, they should drop the fees, a bit, so that you can become undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you only got all those damn weight classes that you're making money off of, and just because you're throwing hats and medallions around don't mean nothing. Lead Medallions Promotions. So shit. That's about all I got, man, about it. But we do have an undisputed coming up in Devahaney and Lomachenko. We got an attraction event coming on this weekend between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. Two talented up and coming fighters. Shiny fighters with no belts, with half belts and Reggie belts and all that. But hey, man, if that's what people want to watch, more power to you. And it's a pay-per-view too, which is crazy. Think about it. They're not fighting for a belt. There's a weight clause on it, like it's a championship bout, but they're not fighting for a belt. And it's pay-per-view. And if you got the zone, you're going to get it a little cheaper. If you got Showtime, you have to pay a little more, because if you got the zone, you're obviously paying for a subscription. So I think it's 60 and 85 if you don't have the subscription to the zone. And you're going through Showtime. So that's how that's going to go for a non-title bout. Enjoy. But this is how they treating us boxing fans right here. They snuffing us, man. No undisputed. It's like, yo, could we get undisputed? Could we get undisputed at 175? And it's like, no, you can't. Can we get undisputed at 168 with a Bivol fight? Nope, you ain't getting that either. Because this guy said, I'm crashing the party, y'all. It's going down. So here we go again, y'all. Back with another one. Well, this is the 1-2 kid. I ain't got much more for you, man. And I guess I'm out, y'all. Have a good one. Thanks for all the support. Everybody that showed up. UGC Flame, Charles D. If y'all was trying to hop on, my apologies again. LeRon, Lisa, Boxing Lounge. Always a pleasure, man. And did I say LeRon? Well, we'll say him again. LeRon. You know what I mean? Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and enjoy your weekend of boxing. Peace.